The other side of the story, had a chance to talk to the LaSalle coach. His name is Tim Flanagan, and he feels his team's a very young team. Of course, you might remember a guy by the name of Dave Evans who played in this tournament last year for LaSalle. Very, very good player. He went away to prep school. So he's gone. He's got a young team. He says, what we do play is smart hockey. He said sometimes we don't score the goals we should score. He says, but we try to stay out of the penalty box. We try not to do anything foolish. And he said the one thing we do have to do is keep the game close, he says, because we don't have a lot of offense. That's what he told me. We'll see.
Well, we'll Coach Bobby Santamore will address the Saratoga club tomorrow. Bobby, North Country Connection. He's from Salmon River, as you've heard us talk about in the past, and I'm sure the Raiders looking forward to that game tomorrow. But right now, task at hand, the cadets from Troy LaSalle. Not too sure about them, as you mentioned, 2-4. They're a Division II club. The Raiders, I do know. Three things that they probably want to key on tonight, and they're pretty important, I imagine, in any game. But they got to sustain a little better forecheck. They got whether they use the same system, but they weren't allowed to sustain much pressure on Canton the other night. After that first period, the Bears came out rather handily, at will, so to speak. And also, I think the Raiders, Coach Long will readily admit that their defensive zone coverage was not the best. The Bears, out of their 6 goals, 5 of them were real pretty goals, and it was a guy coming late, somebody missed an assignment, et cetera, et cetera. They've got to do a little better job in their own end, and the strong side wing, as I feel, has got to be a little more conscious of when the puck coming up that strong side, know where the puck is, know where his defenseman is. If he can't come out clean, but at least chip the puck out. No, don't leave the zone without the puck, what they were doing on occasions the other night against Canton, and also over in Barrie, Vermont last week. And one other thing, and at all times, special teams. And the Raiders have always had a outstanding power play. They're running about 21% right now, which isn't bad. But they picked up a couple of they got a power play goal, a couple against Northwood that brought that average up. But the opposition is running about 35% on the power play.
That's way too high.
That's way too high. So those two areas, and I think when they put that segment out there of Meacham and Walsh and O'Shea and DeRosie and Rochefort on the point, 5 youngsters that can really skate and handle the puck well, they should be a little more domineering on that power play. Those 3 factors I think they want to stress. I'm sure they stressed in practice yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. I think the Massena team is a team that hasn't found its chemistry yet, Dave. It's not meshing.
Not on the same page, as you and I have referred to before. They don't seem to be on that same page. The right hand doesn't know where the left hand is going. The right wing is not sure to cut into the middle and vacate. The center wants to vacate. They, the defense not sure when to give up the puck, when to rush the puck. But those things, it's early in the season, and they'll work those things out. They'll get that ironed out, I'm sure. And this is a good place to start here tonight. And Zach Long, I do believe, will get the start for the Raiders tonight. Zach is a junior. He's 5'11", 215 pounds. Had one previous start, was over in Vermont against Waterville, and suffered a 5-2 defeat. So his second start of the night, or the year, here tonight.
So Zach will be between the pipes for the Massena Red Raiders. Matt Dixon will be defending the goal for LaSalle Institute, the cadets. Dixon is a senior, and actually, you might remember last year it was Rich Loatman who played for the cadets, and Loatman, according to the coach, had a very good freshman year. He was a freshman last year, but he said, Tim Flanagan said he has not come along this year. He said for some reason, one reason or another, he's not had a good start. So he's going with the senior Dixon here this evening, and he said he's been adequate for him, but that's one of their question marks, is goaltending.
Well, it's and that's so important, and you get that hot goaltender, as we saw, in many times in the past. And Canton, for example, has got that hot goaltender.
Absolutely.
He's Jennison. And that means so much when the forwards, the defense out there can take that little extra chance, and they don't have to have that in the back of their mind. Do we have to, work a little harder? But it's so important in any level of hockey, especially high school hockey.
Well, the 2 captains are talking to the officials right now. Tim O'Shea, the captain for the Massena Red Raiders, who is talking with the officials. I'm not sure who that is for LaSalle. Can't see his back. Marvelous Melvin is one of the officials, and I can't tell who the other one is until he turns around and looks at me.
Looks like Mike Eggleston? No,
it might be, but
looks like Mike. I didn't. He's a hockey official.
Yeah, he is a hockey official.
Well, I think that's Mike Eggleston. If not, it's his brother, because twin brother, in fact.
I do believe that is Michael. But anyway, let's see who the LaSalle captain is when he turns around. Okay, that is Ted Kuziara, the defenseman. The starting defenseman is their captain. And right now the introductions are being held. And our own Sanford T at the microphone here this evening.
Sanford T, and he'll probably sing the national anthem, I would doubt it.
I don't know. I think Kesley is here today. Okay. Yeah, Kesley DeTullio is going to do it.
The cadets from Troy LaSalle will wear their road uniforms, and for those viewers out there that like to know those little things, they're a royal blue, I guess, predominantly royal blue, and trimming mainly white piping with a little bit of red, with white helmets.
They always say that it's Troy LaSalle. Actually, LaSalle's not right in Troy. It's in East Greenbush.
East Greenbush, okay.
Yeah.
I used to go there. I used to pick my aunt up that came up from New York every summer. I'd have to drive down, and that's where we stayed overnight. It was in East Greenbush.
This team last year, I believe, made it all the way to the finals in Division II and lost by a goal to a very good Clinton team. It was either the finals or the semifinals.
No, I can't. You mentioned the youngster's name. The big gun last year went to prep school. What's his name again?
Dave Evans.
He was.
He was a load.
He was a franchise player. Yeah. Really a blue chipper.
I think it was the semifinals that they lost to Clinton in. But anyway, they made it to the Final Four, and they have lost quite a few seniors from the last year's team, and also, of course, Evans. When you lose a player of his caliber, you got to start thinking about rebuilding, and that's what they did. Massena being introduced now. Zach Long, as we mentioned, gets the nod. It's his turn in the rotation. Massena using a 3-goalie rotation, and they've stuck with it thus far in the young season. Raiders 2-3 coming into the game. And, of course, on defense, Eric DeRosie and John Rochford, and up front, the Meacham line. And Big Eric centering Timmy O'Shea, the captain, on the left side, and Justin Walsh on the right side. Justin back to his number 5, which is nice. Of course, he had to wear a different number in Canton. Apparently forgot his jersey.
He forgot his jersey, and someone else forgot their pants.
Yeah, it was one of those trips.
Well, that must have been a sign, because it started out poorly and ended poorly for the Raiders.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we honor America with our national anthem, as sung by Kesley DeTullio. We do have some anthem singers in this town, don't we?
Oh, I tell you, we can send out 4 or 5 that can belt them out with the best of them. We'll match them up anywhere.
A little nod from Marvelous Mel. I have to trot out my old line about Mel. He's been playing hockey since they played on the racket.
And
he played for Clarkson a long time ago. He's been refereeing hockey for a very, very long time. And it's always good to see Mel do a game. Very enthusiastic, likes to talk to the youngsters, and he'll tell you why he called something.
He also officiates soccer, and I don't know if he does volleyball or not, but he's quite active in the high school and collegiate officiating, and
He sure
one
is.
of the veteran, one of the premier officials.
And you know what? I think he's still the assigner. I'm not positive of that, but he certainly does a lot of work for the kids, and it's much appreciated, believe me.
When you're the assigner, you get those choice plums.
Is that what it is? Okay. Pat Canoe, Brendan Fleming, and Bill Dallas will be the starting forwards against the Meacham line from Massena. Mike gets ready to drop the puck, and we're underway off the draw. It comes to the LaSalle line. They dump it to the Massena line. John Rochford grabs it, flips it ahead, bounces by the defense, and it trickles into the zone. Timmy O'Shea couldn't come up with it. He was knocked off the puck. Cleared back out by the LaSalle defense. Meacham shovels it right back in. In the corner behind the net, back after Jeff Moore, LaSalle defenseman. He flips it to his partner, Kuziara. Poke checked away by Meacham. Puck picked up by O'Shea, trying to go back to the point. DeRosie had vacated, has to come back out. Goes to Meach. Meach flares it right in the zone. In behind the net it comes. Picked up again by Kuziara. Around the boards it goes. Massena trying to put a little forecheck pressure on, but again it's cleared out to center ice. Justin Walsh backs, picks, and goes to O'Shea. O'Shea steps by one check. Here comes Timmy in the off wing. Stops at the 45. Circles back toward the blue line. Looks to center. Knocked away. Kept in by O'Shea. Gets knocked down trying to flip it through. And I think we're going to have our first penalty of the game as Timmy O'Shea was tripped up trying to slide through, and LaSalle will pick up the penalty. Raiders go on an early power play.
I didn't mean to do it, but I did, and mainly because it was in the offensive zone, or I should say in Troy's defensive zone, and the Raiders had advantage that Mel Malty probably called that. If it happened out in center ice, he probably wouldn't have made that call. But
53
Raiders...
seconds, the time of that penalty, JR. That's going to be Dallas going off for tripping. And off the face-off, it gets by Barkley out to neutral ice. He goes to Benji Nightingale, who fires it in the zone. Massena out there with their second line on this power play, but LaSalle will clear the puck down the ice. It's Jeff Day, Clint Kerwin, and Joe Ward. Zach clears it into the corner. Zach Long in the nets. Barkley just railed the forechecking LaSalle forward. He knew he got hit, but he steals the puck. Here's an opportunity in front, shot, and the save made by Zach Long as the puck stolen by Brendan Fleming. Massena, a little problem in their own end, little nonchalant, and they got caught for it. Here comes a chance for Fleming. He intercepts the pass. He's going to have a clean breakaway on Zach. The shot. Zach makes a huge save. And Massena catches a break there. They almost gave up a shorthanded goal. Back the other way. Raiders have it poke checked away down the ice. And we got pushing and shoving, and there's going to be a penalty. And I think Day is going to pick up the penalty for Massena, Jeff Day. He'll get the gate for perhaps roughing.
Zach Long, two big saves, and that last one coming off from Brendan Fleming, who didn't get a real tough shot off, but Fleming picked up the loose puck in front of the Raider bench. I don't know where the other five white shirts were because they weren't within a mile of that puck. I looked up, I was looking down at my stat sheet, looked up, and here's Fleming breaking in from outside the blue line, all the way in. Zach stood his ground, held his ground, made Fleming make the first move, and it wasn't a hard shot, and he went to the glove side, and Zach didn't have any trouble with it, but a big save. That would have, power play, a shorthanded goal right off the bat really will demoralize. Good save by Zach.
Off the 4-on-4, as both teams with a man in the box. LaSalle will have a power play in a moment. So that nullifies the penalty. We've got Hazel and Cameron out there for Massena up front. And let's see here. Bubba Gerard, and we'll explain that in just a moment. And Drew Wonky. Puck in the corner. After it is Hazel to Cameron, back to Hazel. Hazel, back to Cameron. Here's Michael Cameron. Cameron in behind, gets tied up, has it taken away. And they try to clear it around the boards. That's Luther, and he moves it out to center ice. Luther just dumps it right on Zach. He kicks it wide, and Drew Wonky flips it ahead to neutral ice. Back there to pick it up, it's Huziara. LaSalle back to full strength. They have a power play for about 45 seconds. Wonky with it, bangs it off the boards, out to center ice. It comes to Hazel. He pokes it by the defenseman and then gets knocked down. Hazel going in after it along with Kuziara. Hazel gets a piece of it. Kuziara flips it, doesn't clear the zone. Here's Spanky Seacott dumping it back in. A delay offsides. Kuziara picks it up, looks for the wing, and out to center ice it comes. Down the ice, Bill Jabor. Across the blue line, his shot way wide. Just trying to dump it more than anything. Comes to the blue line, poke, but not out of the zone. Back in behind the net it goes. Here comes Spanky Seacott. Excuse me, that was DeRosie. Loses it in front, but he gets it back again and flips it into the corner. Around the boards it goes, and now Seacott moves it out to center ice. Seacott throws a check. The puck squirts away. DeRosie back out, and the penalty as he laps, Day back out on the ice. Jeff Day now trying to forecheck. The puck bounces to the Massena line. And here come the Cadets across the blue line. Into the corner it goes. Hard check thrown there. Puck squirts free to Seacott around the horn. He moves it out. And who is that? That is DiAgostino trying to flip it ahead. Kept in the zone by Slack. Slack slides. It's going to trickle right on. And goaltender Dixon just leaves it behind the net. Round the boards it comes. Bounces free. Check thrown there by DiAgostino. Didn't see the puck though. Kept in by Benji Nightingale momentarily. Nightingale again didn't keep it in this time, and offsides will be called. 11:07 remaining, first period. On the Corky's Collision scoreboard, it's 0-0.
I'm sure the Raider coaching staff would like to see a little more, shall we say, crunching body checks thrown out there on both ends, offensively and defensively. I think the Raiders maybe have been a little lax on putting some good hard licks on the opposition.
Meacham against Canoe off the face-off. Walsh with it, trying to flip it in to Meacham. Meacham centering pass for O'Shea went by him. Here's O'Shea back toward the blue line. Fires it in behind the net. Here's a chance for Meacham. He gets tied up, gets the puck free. Meacham trying to slide it through to Walsh. Walsh in the corner, setting up. Back to Meacham. Meacham has it poked away. Pinching in is Barkley. Fires it to the open corner. Nobody there but the defenseman Spiak. He moves it ahead. They got a man breaking. Don't clear the zone. And finally it bounces out to center ice. They got a man breaking again. Here we go again. A chance for Bill Dallas. His shot. Nice save by Zach. Puck in the corner. In behind the net. And again, Dallas was all by himself. Broke in. I'm not sure where the Massena defense was. Puck out to center ice. Dump back in the zone. Here's Barkley with it. Lost it in the skate. Gets it back again. Feeds it to Nightingale. Benji starts out. He's got a man breaking. Trying to feed it through to Meacham, and he couldn't catch the pass. And down the ice it goes for icing. 10-10 left in the first period. And again, things just not clicking for Massena yet.
And just prior to that opportunity for Dallas, the Cadets could have broken out a 2-on-1. The Raider defenseman, strong side defenseman, elected to stay on the line. He got caught no man's land, and number 6, Brendan Fleming, just couldn't chip the puck by him, or that would have created a 2-on-1.
Off the faceoff, Gerard with the puck in behind his own net. Trying to move it on the wing. Here's a shot from the point, fired wide. And around the boards and all the way down the ice it goes. Racing back after it is Kuziara. He's got Ward in on him. Ward throws a check. The puck bounces free behind the net. LaSalle trying to clear it. It's in the back of the mesh, and the whistle blows as Raiders had pulled it off. That was Clint Kerwin pulling it off the mesh, but the whistle had blown. Bubba Gerard, we had thought at the end of the Canton game that he had picked up a game misconduct because that's what they announced. It was just a misconduct. It was not a game misconduct.
This line of Day, Ward, and Kerwin, these 2 out of the 3 are real heavy thumpers, and Kerwin's a little more finesse, but Ward and Day can really punish you if they want to.
Off the faceoff, puck controlled by LaSalle. In the corner, stolen away. They get it back again. Clint Kerwin in there digging for it. Stolen by Day, right in front. Goes back to the blue line. Drew Wonky, shot, score! And that deflected, I think, off Kerwin's stick in front, and the Raiders go up 1-0.
I agree with you. I think Ryan Kerwin's going to get the goal. It changed direction. Raiders ganging in front. The puck, Cadets try to dump it out, threw it around the dasher on the right side. Bubba Gerard over on that side just jumped down, and he one-timed a low bullet, and it hit something in front, and I think it is number 17, Ryan Kerwin, because it did change direction, and Dixon had no chance on that. Went in the just inside the post on the glove side. Raiders take an early 1-0 lead, and the clock is still running. I don't know why. It's got to shut the clock off there, guys. It's
Stop the clock!
about 8 seconds.
Here we go on the official. No, they gave it to Wonky. I thought for sure Clint Kerwin deflected in the front.
Well, I think if they checked it over, it certainly hit something in front. But was it Wonky or Gerard from the point?
It was Wonky that shot.
Okay.
But I thought for sure Clint Kerwin got a piece of it on the way through. Nonetheless, somebody had their stick down, and we've talked about this 100 times, Coach. You keep your stick on the ice when you're in front of the net.
You bet.
Here's Cameron in the corner. Raiders lead at 1-0 on the Corky scoreboard. And we're in the first period. Puck bounces free to the blue line. DeRozzi kept it in. Here's Cameron, gets by one. Here's Cameron, short side shot. Ooh, didn't miss by much. May have gone off a defenseman. To the blue line, kept in at the point by the Raiders. Puck around the boards again. In the corner, banging for it. DeRozzi out there with Rochford at the points. Here's Cameron digging for it, trying to get it to Hazel. It's knocked away, hits the side of the net. Puck bounces free, and finally it's cleared out. And they move it ahead to Joe White. And White starts it out. Here's White for the Cadets. Takes it across. Does a shift. His shot is gloved. That was off the net, and Zach is going to hold on for the faceoff. And the Raiders, with 9:38 left in the first period, lead on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, 1-0.
And until we hear different and they make a change, Drew Wonke, his first goal of the year, probably his first varsity goal. Good low bullet shot from the point. Did hit something in front. Maybe it hit a LaSalle player, but Jeff Day is going to pick up the assist. That came at the 5:25 mark.
The shot by Canoe is wide. Puck in the corner now. Raiders trying to clear it. Bounces in front, and is it in or not? That almost got across the line off a Massena defenseman's stick. But Zach kept it out somehow, and face-off will again come inside Massena territory. Again, Massena having a little problem in their own end.
Goaltenders' nightmares when they don't get help from their defense. And little trickler from the boards, and the Massena defenseman redirected it right towards, almost through his feet, Zach Long's legs.
Here's Slack against Canoe. Canoe wins the draw, looks to take it around in front, backhander. Save made again by Zach. Here is Johnny Rochford. Rips it around the boards. The Raiders start to move it ahead. Long headman pass on the stick of Slack. Or no, excuse me, that's Spanky Seacott. Steps by the check. Here's Seacott. Short side shot. He shoots. The save made. The rebound. They bang at it. And covering up on the play is Dixon. Nice play by Seacott.
Great headman pass coming out of the zone. I'm not sure if that was Jeffrey Slack or Anthony D'Agostino laid that pass diagonally across to Spanky Seacott, roaring down that left side, and he got around the LaSalle defenseman and walked right in on top of Dixon, and elected to go upstairs short side. Looks like maybe he didn't have enough angle to go long side, but Dixon made the save. But a good opportunity for Eric Seacott.
Off the faceoff, LaSalle loses it in front. O'Shea's shot goes wide. In behind the net, it's Ken Evans, the defenseman. Along the boards and out to center ice. Comes to Barkley, backhands it right back in the zone. O'Shea trying to step by the check. It's knocked down. The puck comes free in the corner. Meacham with it, trying to go back to O'Shea. O'Shea gets tied up, stays with it. Here's O'Shea to Meach. He can't get the shot off. Has it knocked away. Finally flips in the corner to Timmy O'Shea. O'Shea in behind to Meacham in the circle. Here's Meacham. Drops it behind for Walsh. Walsh trying to center it. Intercepted. Comes free in front to O'Shea. He drops it back to the point. Benji Nightingale flips it in the corner again. It's picked up on the defense. Kuziara around the boards. Nightingale keeps it in. Bounces to the circle, back to Nightingale, shovels it in behind the net. Here's O'Shea chasing it down in the corner. Timmy O'Shea around the boards, trying to go to Meacham, goes back to the blue line, kept in at the point again by Massena, but the puck goes free to LaSalle, and it's picked up by Ted Kuziara. Defenseman off the glass, around the boards to the blue line, kept in at the point again. O'Shea shoots one right on from long range, and it's covered up by the defenseman. Good job keeping it in the zone. Couldn't get it in front, though, to get a good chance.
That's something that we had talked about at the top of the broadcast, sustained pressure, and they certainly had at that time, that line of Meacham, Walsh, and O'Shea, something they didn't have the other night, and that's what you need. Again, playing the bodies. This LaSalle club is not a physical. They don't seem to be a very physical club.
Here's Wonke shot, a bouncer, goes wide. Racing for it now is Ward in the corner. Ward out there with Day and Kerwin. Day now flips it to Kerwin behind the net, has it poke checked away. Bounces into the corner. Around the boards it goes. Massena continuing to exert some pressure. Kerwin takes a whack at it, can't keep it in the zone. Bounces out to center ice. Across the blue line in the Massena zone, all of a sudden it's a 2-on-1, except for one thing. Offsides.
Offside. I was watching the little sparring session on the far side. Drew Wonke hooked up with the right wing LaSalle and turn around. That's looks like number 10. That's Joe White. Not very big, and Joe got the short end of that tussle. Drew put him on his backside.
Off the faceoff, the puck comes to Bubba Gerard. Gerard off the boards ahead to Ward. Ward just bounces it for Day. Here comes Jeff Day in the corner going after it. Looks to center, bounced off a leg, and LaSalle moves it back to center ice. To the Massena line. Across the blue line it is. That's Roach taken out of the play. Wonke picks up the puck, rips it around the boards, kept in at the point. Here's a shot, way wide. Bounces around a Ward. He just bangs it ahead to neutral ice. Jeff Day after it. Here comes Day trying to split the D. Takes it across left side. Day shot. Save made by Dixon. Of course, these guys right at the end of their shift, but Day still took off pretty good.
If this first period is any indication, if the Raiders can maintain the pace that they're at, I think they're going to get a few goals. It's going to be a long evening for Troy. That rush by Joe Day went right around the defenseman, and that previous play, Joe Ward, just great back checking. The LaSalle forward had a 15-20 foot head start on him, and he caught him on a great back check.
Here comes Cameron in the corner now. Bounces it in behind the net, picked up by Kuziara again. Rips it around the boards. Kellogg flips it in behind. Cameron trying to come out of it. Cameron with Hazel out there, trying to center it, but it's going to be LaSalle intercepting, and they clear it. Here comes LaSalle. Kuziara again is going to take it across. Flips it inside Massena territory. In behind the net. Raiders try to move it ahead. Cameron, long head man. Oh, that was intercepted at the last second and dumped back into the zone. In behind the net, Johnny Rochford. Around the boards for Cameron. He bounces it. Didn't get it out of the zone. Bounces in front, but it's poked ahead. Comes to Kellogg. Here's Kellogg looking up. Headman pass. Hazel. Hazel takes it across. Gets knocked down, trying to stay with it, but it's picked up by Kuziara off his stick. He rips it around the boards. Kept in at the point by Massena. Nice Johnny Rochford. Flips it for Cameron behind the net. Michael Cameron with it. Looks. Takes it in the corner, left side of the goalie. Here's Cameron looking to center in front. Oh, deflected just wide. Good idea by Cameron. Back to DeRosie at the point. He shovels it in the corner. Cameron is there. Here's Michael again. Has it knocked away. Gets it back again. Cameron in the circle. Out to the blue line. DeRosie turns it around. He's got room. Looks up. Winds up. His shot is deflected up into the wall. And the faceoff will come inside LaSalle territory. Good pressure by the Raiders.
Michael Cameron, one of the, if not the most steadiest forward that the Raiders have had through 5 games, and that was just a great pressure. One thing I liked before that even was looking up, headman, when he caught the LaSalle defenseman standing on the blue line, he looked up, number 12 for the Raiders, Kellogg broke, and Michael looked up and tried to chip the puck by him. If he would have been successful, it was a 2-on-1 break, but the thing is, he's looking, they're looking up, they're breaking without the puck. That's good.
Slack out there with his line mates now for Massena. Wins the draw. Here's Benji Nightingale, backhander through traffic, goes off a leg into the corner. And it's finally flipped down the ice. That'll be an icing call against LaSalle as they just dump it down the ice. As all 4 Massena lines putting pressure on LaSalle.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders are going short shifts too, instead of... that's good. If you're going to use 4 lines, keep them fresh out there, keep those shifts short, and they've all been pretty consistent with that short shift, except on the power play. That's what you want to do, and keep applying the pressure, which they've done successfully in this first period to this LaSalle club.
1-0. Massena leads. Nightingale shot up over the net in the corner. A little bit too much height on that one. Puck cleared, but not out. Kept in Barkley. Flips it back in the corner again. Slack after it. In behind the net. He's upended. Can't come up with it, but coming in to help out is DiAgostino. Flips it over on the other side. Seacott trying to go back to Slack. He circles in front. Can't get the shot off. Takes it in the circle, back into the corner. In behind, bounces it off the boards. DiAgostino after it. Back to the point to Nightingale. Benji winds up his shot, deflected wide. Good idea. Here comes DiAgostino in front. Slack backhander. Save made by Dixon. Puck around the boards. DiAgostino looks to center, and it goes into the back of the mesh, and it's tied up. Oh, they're wheeling and dealing out there. Massena in this last, 4 or 5 minutes has looked very good.
Very good. And that line of Jeff Slack at center, Anthony DiAgostino on the right side, and Eric Seacott, another good shift. And Jeff Slack almost had himself his 2nd goal of the year, picked up a puck in behind the net and walked out on Dixon's left side, his glove side, and almost jammed it in on the short side. But a good save by Dixon. But as you mentioned, Jerry, that line is flying. In fact, all 4 lines of the Raiders have been skating.
Off the face-off, Meacham in the corner. Meacham out there with his line mates. Loses it to Spiak. Flips it in the corner as Justin Walsh throws a check. Puck bounces free, controlled by Dallas. Around the boards, it bounces, not out. Trickles out to center ice. Bubba Girard with it, flipping it ahead for Walsh. To O'Shea, breaking in with Meacham. Gets by the check, has it poked away, back to Bubba. His shot! Oh, the goalie had no idea where it was, deflected wide. Here's Walsh trying to center it. Back to the blue line. Drew Wonke keeps it in. In behind the net for O'Shea to Meacham. Knocked away by the defenseman, Kuziak. Good play by Kuziak. And he bangs it off the glass out to center ice. And back comes Billy Dallas across the blue line. He's taken out of the play. And Massena goes back the other way. Bounce pass comes to O'Shea. Back to Girard. He breaks across the blue line. Feeds it across. Here's Meacham. Meacham to O'Shea. Got knocked down. Couldn't hold on to it. And it trickles back out to center ice. Here comes Canoe with it. Has it knocked away by Drew Wonke. Wonke takes up the puck. Drops it to Girard in the corner in the Massena zone. Bangs it ahead to Meacham. Gets away from him. Comes to the LaSalle blue line. They try to clear the zone. Meacham keeps it in. Meacham feeds to O'Shea, bounces away from him. Puck cleared into the corner, to the blue line, trickles out to center ice. Here is Massena defenseman Eric DeRosie flipping ahead for Walsh, who dumps it right back in the zone. Raiders making another line change. They are moving them out quickly. Massena still leads 1-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Puck in the corner. Defenseman a little problem. Finally flips it ahead. Bounces out by the blue line. It's Jeff Day with it. Day from Massena flips in the corner. They bang at it. Pushing and shoving. Ward takes a shot. And the puck bounces free in behind to Kuziara, who rips it around the boards for LaSalle. They're going to try to move it out. Kept in by Day. He keeps it in. Nice job. Here's Day to Ward in front. Ward's shot is blocked. Comes back to the blue line. Ward chases it down. Flips it in the corner. After it there is the Raiders. Here comes Day. Day went back for DeRosie, but he had pinched in, and it goes all the way down the ice into the Massena zone. And leaving it there is Zach Long for the Massena defenseman, who gets tied up. Johnny Rochford had a little problem. Raiders move it out, though, to the blue line, out to center ice, dump back in again. Delay offsides. LaSalle clears. 2:40 left, first period. Corky scoreboard says 1-0 Massena. Raiders trying to clear the zone. Here they come again. Ward with it. He's got Clint Kerwin. Feed it ahead, and it went by Kerwin, and he just couldn't catch the pass, and offsides will be called. And that's where Massena needs to improve a little bit. Every once in a while, the passes just aren't there.
Outside of that first, when the Raiders were on the power play and they gave it up a couple of times, LaSalle has not generated any offense. In fact, maybe it's just getting off the bus, but they just can't skate with Massena. Massena's flying out there, and LaSalle is, they look, as I say, they're a young club, and they're not physically strong.
And they look tired right now.
Yeah, they do.
The puck trickles to the blue line. Barkley keeps it in, flips it in the corner. Back after it is Barbera. Has it knocked away. Again, it's Hazel now. Hazel in behind. Raiders with a wraparound attempt. Save made. Rebound in front. They score! And Hazel will pick up the goal on a nice feed from the side of the net by Shane Farmer. And Farmer actually had the chance to shoot backhanded. Goaltender Dixon made the save, but right there was Hazel to poke in the rebound, and the Raiders lead 2-0.
Well, that's what you want to be. Matt Hazel, right spot, right time, not making any mistakes, but number 16 on the right side, Shane Farmer, picked it up behind the net, and he tried to wrap around, had two whacks at it. Dixon made the save, and that second one he gave up the rebound, and Matt Hazel cruising in front. No one picked him up, and he won't have an easier goal than that. He had 9/10 of the net. He didn't need that much, and he put it in. Raiders up 2-0.
Is that one of those goals where you or I could have scored?
Definitely, with our eyes closed. But Matt didn't make any mistake, and that's his second goal of the year, I do believe. Yeah, Matt Hazel, his second goal. Got one over in Vermont. I think his first one. He picks up his second here tonight.
Cameron also picking up an assist on the goal. So Michael continues his excellent play for the Red Raiders. Off the faceoff, it went out off the ice surface. Right back comes from Massena off the ensuing faceoff. Here's a drive. Hazel shot. Save made. Puck sits in front of the goalie, but is cleared into the corner. Bouncing puck in behind the net. It comes in the corner. Cameron going after it, trying to come up with it, and he does. Has it knocked away, gets it back, has it knocked away, bounces just across the blue line. Barkley's there to flip it to an open wing. Massena has to get onside. LaSalle defenseman picking it up and dumping it out. Here's Benji Nightingale dumping it in the zone. Whoops, Massena's got to get onside. And we've got the Massena slack line out there. The puck bounces by everybody, trickles all the way in, and it's going to be picked up. And Barkley went sprawling for it. A little bit of a miscommunication. Couldn't tell whether Zach was going to play it or not, and the Raiders try to clear it out of the zone as Barkley moving it ahead. Bounce pass meant for Seacott. A little bit far. Coming back is Moore. Flipping it to the red line. Dumped by Benji Nightingale right back in the zone. Puck picked up by Kuziara. 2-0. Massena leads. Back out to center ice. Bubba Girard trying to flip it ahead to Slack. Slack slides it across the blue line. 2-0 Massena on the Corky scoreboard. Goes to Drew Wonky. Wonky fires it in the zone. Bounces in behind the net. LaSalle defense looking to pick it up. Don't clear the zone. Here's a shot by Girard, and that bounced off a leg. That was Canoe who blocked that, and he's got a little bit of a limp as he heads for the bench. Drew Wonky with it. Over to Girard in their own end. Back to Wonky. Massena moves it ahead. Spanky Seacott can't quite get it out of the zone. Dumped in on Zach. He's going to leave it. No, he's going to cover it up and hold on for the faceoff. We are down to 21 seconds in a fast-paced first period. Raiders lead at 2-0.
And that second Massena goal, his second of the year, Matt Hazel. Matt's having a good year, only a junior, 6 foot, 150-pound junior. Yeah, I swear he looks bigger than 150 pounds. I'll have to see him in his civvies. But his second goal of the year, Shane Farmer, good work, and Michael Cameron both picking up the assist in that.
Off the faceoff, Wonky. Moving it to Gerard, around the boards to Walsh. Here's a head. Oh, they almost got O'Shea breaking, and an icing will be called. And I tell you, it was within half of an inch of being a breakaway.
Again, you don't mind that. Two things. The defenseman is looking up, and the forward is breaking without the puck. And Timmy O'Shea broke right between the two LaSalle defensemen, right at the red line, had him trapped. And as you mentioned, a couple of inches, a couple of millimeters, it was close.
Off the faceoff, here's a shot off a leg in the corner. 7 seconds left. Raiders cleared around the boards, kept in though. Bounces in front, they get a man free, and they score! And that's going to be Adam Samanoff. Massena again with a chance to clear the zone. They kept in at the point, and the puck just took a funny bounce in front, went right to Samanoff, who was all by himself, and LaSalle gets the goal with 1 second left in the period.
1 second left, and I was ready to write the LaSalle club off for the period, but a strange bounce, and Samanoff about 18 feet directly out in front of Zach Long took a weird bounce. It came right out to him. He didn't waste any time. He slid one right along the ice. Again, it wasn't a hard shot. There probably aren't 2 or 3 of those cadets have got overpowering shots. Low along the ice to the stick side, just inside the post, and Troy gets on the board here at the end of the first period.
So Samanoff gets the goal to make it 2-1. Massena pretty much dominated, though, the first period and lead it 2-1. Our broadcast brought to you by Sullivan's Office Supply at 219 Center Street in Massena, Reynolds Metals, St. Lawrence Reduction Plant, Massena Savings and Loan at 121 Main Street in Massena, by Walsh Equipment, Bernie Avenue in Massena, Coca-Cola, the makers of Powerade, also by Paris Excavating and Environmental Control Corporation on the Massena-Winthrop Road, by Homestead Dairies, located on West Hatfield Street and at the corner of North Main and Maple Street in Massena, by Massena Optics, 55 Main Street, downtown Massena, by the members of the CECOM Federal Credit Union, 30 Stern Street, Massena, by the North Country Savings Bank, 22 Phillip Street in Massena, and by Nationwide Insurance at 229 East Orvis Street in Massena. Again, after a period, the Red Raiders leading it 2-1, pretty much dominated the period. A tough luck goal right with 1 second left to make it 2-1.
I don't think that's going to deter Massena. I just don't think this Troy club can skate with them. I don't think they can play the body with them. If Massena maintains the pressure and the skating and the hitting, even if they pick the hitting up a little bit, I think it'll pay bigger dividends. This club cannot. You mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they're young, they're not that big, and it's evident out there. They certainly can't skate with Massena. I don't know if it's because of the long bus ride, but a perfect example happened on a couple of occasions. Troy broke out, had an odd man rush, 3-on-2 at the blue line, and by the time it got to the other blue line, it was a 3-on-4. The Raiders were able to come back real strong and negate any advantage they had. The only flurry that Troy had outside of getting that goal late was when Massena was on the power play, got a little lax, and they had a couple of breakaways, but Zach Long stood tall and stood very tall in there and kept him off the sheet. And I just feel that the Raiders are, I don't want to go out on a limb, but if that first period is any indication, I think that they're going to be okay here tonight.
Yeah, if Massena can keep up the pressure the way they did in that first period, again, it's 2-1, but you got to give a wide territorial edge to Massena Red Raiders. The saves were fairly even, but a lot of those, LaSalle saves, or I should say Massena saves on LaSalle, a lot of the saves by Zach Long were early in the period. There was a big flurry when there was 4 or 5 and some long shots, and then one that got by him right at the end of the period.
Yeah, even the breakaways, Zach handled them without, they didn't have a lot on them, and they elected to go right at him instead of trying to go, to either side. So 2 goals in the period. The first one, 5:25, Drew Wonky, his first varsity goal. Drew took the shot from the point. You and I both thought it might have hit Clint Kerwin in front. It hit something. It certainly changed direction. Jeff Day doing a lot of work through the puck around the boards, and put the Raiders up 1-0. And then at 12:53, about 7 minutes after that first one, his second goal of the year, Matt Hazel won't get an easier one. That line of Hazel, Farmer, and Cameron doing an excellent job. Michael Cameron picking up the assist. Shane Farmer picked it up behind the net, stepped out in front. No one even picked him up. He had not one but 2 whacks at it. Over in
Canton. Canton came back from a 2-0 deficit. Brian Carville, Massena's nemesis the other night, got 2 more tonight in the third period to tie the game, send it into overtime. That freshman knee got the game winner in overtime as Canton defeats Ogdensburg 3-2. And they'll move on to the championship of their tournament. The other 2 teams are Plattsburgh and...
Potsdam, is it?
Is it Potsdam?
I think so.
Okay. Plattsburgh and Potsdam. And in the Salmon River tournament, the New Hartford team defeated Salmon River in the first game 2-1. Must have been an exciting game down there at Salmon River. Second game will feature Lennoxville, Quebec against St. Lawrence Central. That should be starting fairly soon. And of course, this game or this tournament tomorrow, it's not a winners-losers tournament, so it will feature regular lineups tomorrow as Massena will play Saratoga at 1:30, and LaSalle, or I should say, yeah, LaSalle and South Carleton will play at about 4. A couple of single games tomorrow as well. Norwood, Norfolk at Thousand Islands, and Saranac Lake at Malone. 2-1 here. LaSalle on the ice. Massena has yet to reappear. And we're still, I don't know if they know the ice is done.
I'm not sure. The buzzer hasn't. Normally they ring the buzzer to let the teams know that the ice is ready, and I don't think they've done that. I'm sure somebody will be pounding on the door pretty soon. The Raiders down there in locker room number 1. And the Troy LaSalle cadets, I believe they're in locker room number 3 here at the, as you said, the beautiful Massena Arena. A fine sheet of ice, and Recreation Director Paul Patterson and his crew do an excellent job here. This is a beautiful facility, great to play in, and a great place to watch a hockey game.
Sure is. And excellent press facilities here. We really enjoy doing the games from this press box.
You can't find a better one that, to my knowledge, around here. It's really a great vantage spot. And as you mentioned, Troy's going to get tired out. They've been out here for 5 minutes, and the Raiders still have not made an appearance, and neither have the officials. So maybe, well, I don't know.
Why am I not surprised about this? Massena was late for both games in Vermont, and here they are late coming out after the first period.
Well, we can't blame them, though. The officials aren't out on the ice.
No, that's true.
There we go. There's the buzzer. Maybe Troy was a little anxious to get out here. Maybe they're early. Let's put it that way.
Uh-oh. The boss just pounded on the door. The Dragon.
Uh-huh.
They'll be out any time now.
I'm surprised she didn't go in, much less pounding on the door. It's just pranced right in there and started throwing them out left and right. But
oh, boy.
They must... I don't know what Coach Long is telling them. That was a good first period. Just do what you did in that first period. Keep that up, and you won't have any problems. And here come the officials. They're kind of sauntering out there. That is Mike Eggleston. Mike didn't realize he did hockey. We haven't had him, I guess. That's why in a while. And Mike is a Massena native, and Mel Tamalti from Potsdam, and Mel is going to, well, he just gave the arm signal, get him out here. Bobby's closing the gate down there, except, hey, Bobby, we got another team to come out here. Hold on. Oh, maybe still nothing.
We're going to have to do a little research on this and find out what exactly happened. And
this
this is amazing.
The longest, now they could be assessed. Now here goes. Who's ever running the scoreboard, and Troy LaSalle, they've already made their pre-period huddle at the net and had their little cheer, and all heading to the bench, and the Raiders have still not come out of that locker room.
Here they come.
All right.
Well, yeah, there they come. Okay.
There is a team in there after all.
Yeah, I was beginning to wonder. Massena coming back out on the ice. They're not going to have much time to skate around, are they?
No, they're not. Led by their goaltender, number 29, Zach Long. And according to the game plan, probably Aaron Hardy will get the start tomorrow against Saratoga.
Yep, that's I'm sure is what will happen. So Massena coming back out on the ice now after a very long break between periods. And again, we'll have to find out what happened, and we'll let you know tomorrow. I agree. I don't know that he would have too much to be upset about. Maybe a couple of times a little lax in their own end. And in fact, you could possibly blame that last goal on that.
Well, maybe let's look at it the other way. Maybe he wasn't upset. Maybe he was handing out so much praise that he needed extra time for all the good things they did in that period. That's probably what it was.
That could be, too. That's right. 2-1, Massena leading after one period of play here. They'll be going the early game tomorrow. Normally, you'd expect Massena to play the second game. The reason being, though, South Carlton has some kids that play midgets, and they have a game in the morning. So they want to give them a little chance to rest before they play that second game. And, Coach, that means...
that means that you and I have the early game, and that means I can get to Mass.
That's right. I knew you'd be happy to hear that.
That's right, I am. I'm pleased with that. I can.
Of course, the boss is home, so you got to clean up your act again.
The boss is home, and I am pleased.
So how are the Twins?
Oh, the Twins are just beautiful, and they're doing great, gaining ounces each day, big and beautiful, and brought home some pictures and. All the way home from Montreal, we just talked about the Twins, and can't wait to see them again.
How many grandchildren does that make?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 grandchildren. Okay, off the face-off. Here's Walsh trying to take it across. It's knocked away. Back out to center ice. We're finally underway here in the second period. Now the puck comes to the Massena line, picked up by John Rochford, ahead to O'Shea, has a bounce away from him. And the puck back in the LaSalle zone. They try to drop it to the defense, goes by everybody. Walsh back to the point. DeRosie winds up. His shot deflected. Ooh, just wide. Didn't miss by much, folks. And the puck in the corner. DeRosie pinches in, can't get a stick on it. And LaSalle finally slides it to center ice. And down the ice they come. It's Pat Canoe with it. Here's Canoe across the blue line, gets by one. Takes it in the corner, looks to center. It's poked to the blue line. Here's a shot from the blue line, goes into the corner again. Actually, I think that was meant as a pass, but another shot from the point bounces wide. And Barkley flips it, down the ice it goes. I think that will go for icing. Yep, Timmy O'Shea chasing it down, but he didn't get there in time, and icing the call. And the face-off will move back in Massena territory. Raiders lead it 2-1 on the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard. We're early in the second period.
Assistant captain Eric DeRosie went off in some difficulty as he jumped down from the point in that slot area. I think he took a slash across the ankle, and he went down. Took him a little while to get up. The play went the other way, and he limped to the bench.
Adam Samanoff will face off against Jeff Day off the draw. Massena wins it. Here's Benji Nightingale dropping for Adam Barkley. Barkley starts it ahead. Nice head man of Day. We got a 2-on-1, 2-on-2. Ahead it goes to Kerwin. Kerwin slides it right on, and the save made. He was trying to go through the defenseman, and it got a little bit away from him. Barkley's shot gets knocked down in front. It bounces in the circle back to the blue line. Benji Nightingale goes to Barkley again. Barkley trying to slide it in the corner, but it goes off a stick up into the stands. And we'll have a face-off inside LaSalle territory. 2-1, Massena leads, 13:41 left in period number 2.
Nice lead pass, Adam Barkley to Jeff Day, and Clint Kerwin on that left side. He's got to go. He was breaking, but he kept looking back. Go like mad, and if that center doesn't get you the puck, the coach will give him hang. Could have waltzed himself right in on a breakaway.
Here's Barkley keeping it in. Here's Kerwin's backhander, knocked down in front, goes right on, the save made. Puck in behind the net again, Kerwin goes after it. In the corner, picked up by the LaSalle defense. They just trickle it out to center ice. Barkley's right there, sliding it back across the line, but it comes out again. And here comes LaSalle. They're going to dump it deep in the Massena zone. Benji Nightingale back after it. Looks for Ward on the wing. Ward ahead to Day. Day flips it ahead. Here comes Kerwin. Can't quite catch it. Puck comes back to the red line. Picked up by Ward. He flips it in the zone. Delay offsides. Raiders want to change as the Hazel line comes out. Back to the blue line, kept in at the point. It comes back out again, back in again. And it's picked up there by Kuziara. Flips it ahead, bounces to center ice. Bubba Girard is there to shovel it right back across the blue line. Bounces off a leg, back out again. At center ice, here comes LaSalle. They try to flip a man in the zone. He gets by one, but Drew Waukke's there to cover up and moves it back out again. Down the ice. And they're going to wave the icing off that time, ruling that Moore could have played it. Here's Moore in behind his own zone. Cameron putting a little forechecking pressure on him. Pokes the puck in behind again. They'll try the other side. Comes around to Bill Dallas. Can't get it out of there. Wonky keeps it in. Bounces free. Here's an opportunity for Massena in front. Hazel can't get the shot off. He was fed by Sean Kellogg, who gets a chance at the wing, and LaSalle is going to ice it.
The Raiders are doing an excellent job, and we talked about it, laying some body out there. The more that they do that, it's going to pay dividends. They'll slow this club. This is not a fast club anyway, but they're really starting to look around, and I think they're doing a fairly good job. Those white shirts are trying to hit any blue body, any blue shirt that moves. And Jeff Day and Adam Barkley, some good solid checks out there in that last shift.
Off the faceoff, Slack's line out there. Here's Seacott, gets a shot off just wide. Anthony D'Agostino digs it out of the corner, goes to Slack behind the net, got away from him. Picked up, but Slack steals it back again. Goes to Seacott, back to the blue line. Rochford across the ice to DeRosa. He's back there, which is good news for Massena. He flips it in behind to Seacott. Now it's Slack with it. Jeffrey Slack with it out of the corner, right side of the goal. He steps into the circle. He's got room. He shoots. Save made. Rebound. Bouncing in front. It's still free. Backhand shot by Seacott. Hit a body. Seacott digs it out of the corner. Goes to Slack. Slack to Seacott. Side of the net. Back to the point. It goes to DeRosa. DeRosa has it poked away. It comes out to center ice. And it's back the other way for Canoe. Flipping it ahead for LaSalle. Seacott throws a check. The puck comes outside to Rochford. Back in the zone. And it's picked up by DeRosa now. Here's Eric DeRosa. Steps by one check. Nice move. Headman pass right off the stick of D'Agostino. In the corner. Seacott, been out there a long time. Trying to flip it around the boards. Trickles back to the blue line. DeRosa winds up the shot. Didn't miss by much. Around the horn it goes. Here's Rochford. Flips it over to Meacham on the other side as Massena's made a line change. In behind the net for Slack, who's still out there too. He overskates. Puck around the boards. Canoe trying to come up with it. He and Rochford go together. Rochford stays with it. Now it's Slack. Goes in front. Here's O'Shea. Backhand shot. Bounces wide. Slack follows up in front. And it's cleared by the goalie to the blue line. Rochford cranks up the shot. Nice kick save by Dixon. Puck in the corner. Picked up by O'Shea trying to center it. It's knocked away. Comes to the blue line and out to center ice. Oh, my goodness. All kinds of pressure, and Massena couldn't put it by Dixon. Dixon made a couple of real good saves. Long head man. Massena's got a 2-on-1. Walsh has it knocked away as LaSalle got back. Walsh in the corner. Throws a check. Puck squirts to O'Shea. Timmy O'Shea behind the net. Looks to circle. Here's O'Shea into the slot. Shoots. Scores! Timmy O'Shea. And we got to give a coach's assist to Justin Walsh in front of the net running interference.
He ran interference, and the Troy LaSalle Cadets were actually down a man. Number 19, Jeff Moore, had broken his stick behind the net when he and Timmy O'Shea ran into each other, but O'Shea picked up the loose puck and walked right out in front. Circle out, came out on the left side of Dixon, walked right out in front, and the Cadets trying to zone coverage, pick somebody up, and no one picked O'Shea up, and probably from up 15 feet, he wristed a bullet over the stick side, the right shoulder of Dixon. I'm sure Coach Ed Latham's going to have laryngitis over there because he was just screaming at Jeffrey Slack to get out there. Jeffrey was out there in, I think, a 5-minute and 21-second shift that time. They couldn't get him off with a lasso, and he was screaming over there.
Jeffrey was smelling gold.
Jeffrey had 2 or 3 opportunities to get one, but he's got to shorten that shift up.
Off the faceoff, bouncing puck, trickles into the Massena zone. Here's a chance, and it bounces in behind the net. Slack got a piece of it, had no idea where it was. But fortunately for Massena, it bounced in over the net. Puck in the corner. That was Samanoff again, who almost had the weird goal. But back out to center ice. Dumped back in by LaSalle. Barkley picks up the loose puck in behind the net. Here's Barkley has it knocked away, then flips it ahead. Ward has it taken away. Comes bouncing in front to the blue line, trickles out. Here comes Day and Ward. Headman goes from Day to Ward. Ward trying to bust by the D. The shot. Score! Joey Ward from a sharp angle, and the Raiders go up 4-1.
Joe Ward busting down that right side. I think the lead pass came from Ben Nightingale, and Joe Ward picked that puck up in that neutral zone down that right side. And as you mentioned, from a real tough angle, he was below the dot. And he just one-timed it stick side, and Dixon didn't come out and play that angle very well, and the Raiders are really rolling now, up 4-1, and unless the Cadets do something to stem this bleeding, they could bleed to death before this period is over.
Joey Ward gets the goal. I think Day will pick up 1 assist. And who's the other one? Here comes Massena's Cameron, busting by the defense. Here comes Cameron in on the right side in front. The shot deflected high in the air and up off the ice surface.
Yeah, and Mike Cameron breaking in on that left side, and Pat Canoe at the last second stuck the stick out and deflected it. Those two goals coming at 36 seconds apart.
Yep.
Timmy O'Shea, the first one from Meacham and Walsh, and then at 5:19, Joe Ward from Day and Barkley. I thought that was Nightingale, but it doesn't make any difference. The Raiders up 4-1.
Off the face-off. Drew Wonke's shot right on. Didn't get a lot of wood on it. Actually just trying to keep it from going out of the zone, but it's right on the net. And Dixon had to make the save. Raiders lead at 4-1 on the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard here in the second period. 9:29 left in the middle stanza.
Raiders used to being victimized by those quick goals. Tonight they've turned the tables.
Here's Bubba Girard's shot, deflected right on. Save made by Dixon. Puck in the corner, comes in behind the net. Raiders still trying to put pressure. Sean Kellogg centers it, bounces by Cameron, and is picked up by the defense. And Sean Kellogg keeps it in to Cameron. Steps by a check. Goes to Kellogg. Kellogg has it kicked away, and LaSalle is just going to dump it down the ice. And if it goes far enough, it'll be icing, and it does. The whistle blows, and we'll have a face-off with 9:04 left in the second period. The Raiders putting all kinds of pressure on, and they have the lead 4-1.
And if I were LaSalle, this is what I would do. I'd dump it every chance I got. I don't care if I took icings, because right now they're definitely back on their heels, and the Raiders just pressing them right into the end boards, all over them. And so to just kind of take some of that pressure off, get some changes out there, short shifts, dump it as much as you can, take as many icings as you can.
They're not as deep as Massena either. They go with 3 lines. They've got a couple of extra forwards, but they haven't had a chance to play. Here's a shot from the point just wide. Puck in the corner now. To the blue line. No, it goes off a leg. Bouncing shot right on the backhand by Anthony DiAgostino, and another save made by Dixon. Puck in the corner. That's Spiak. Moves it to the blue line out to center ice to Rosie. To Rochford. Rochford flips it ahead across the blue line. Kept in there. Here's Farmer, but it goes off his stick up into the stands, and we'll have a face-off.
That goal by Timmy O'Shea, his 6th of the year. Timmy leads the Raiders in goal production with 6. Eric Meacham bringing up second spot with 4. And Joe Ward, his first goal of the year. And hopefully many more for Joe. That line getting on track, having a fine game up to this point, that line of Day, Ward, and Kerwin.
I'll tell you what, all 4 lines are playing pretty well. Off the face-off, Meacham flips it in the corner. After it there is Kenny Evans, the defenseman, doesn't clear the zone. Puck goes back in again. It's Samanov. Samanov starts in behind the net. Trying to go it around the boards. Kept in by Rochford at the point. He flips it along the boards to O'Shea. Knocked away. And to the blue line. Still in the zone apparently. Now it trickles out. And Meacham tries to drop it for DeRozzi. Goes by him and into the Massena zone. DeRozzi gathers it. Goes to Meacham, who just pokes it out. Here's Rochford going by. Trying to get it to O'Shea. O'Shea takes it across in the zone. Here's O'Shea. Goes to Rochford. He's going to circle in front. Short side shot. Save made by Matt Dixon. They center in front. Score! Deflected by Walsh. And the Raiders go up 5-1. Justin Walsh, stick on the ice. A pass from the corner from Timmy O'Shea. And it's 5-1.
And he doesn't miss too many from that spot, and he gets it off so quick, and it was in the net before Dixon realized. He had just made a nice save when John Rochefort, just prior to that, steamrolling down that left side, went right around the defenseman, and from a real tough angle, got off a hard shot, but Dixon held his ground. Puck went in the corner, Raiders picked it up and threw it out front, and Justin Walsh right there, no mistake, in the net. Raiders up 5-1.
Off the face-off, puck back in the zone. Around the boards and down the ice. It trickles into the Massena zone. Jeff Day is there. Here's Day stepping by 1. Here's Day, a head man pass to Ward. Ward carries it in on the right side. Drop pass. Barkley at the blue line. His shot right on. The save made. Ward trickles it in front, trying to get it free. Now it comes to Kerwin. Kerwin centers it. Knocked down in front. The goaltender's got a piece of it, covers up, and holds on for the face-off. Kerwin says, hey, he really didn't have it covered up. But they blew the whistle when the official lost sight.
Clint Kerwin could see it. You and I could see it right out there. Dixon could see it, but he couldn't get his hand on it. And Clint Kerwin couldn't pull it out of his grasp. But 3/4 of it showing. But they're going to make a change, right? The young man, it's not his fault. He's under a lot of pressure right now. And the Cadets going to make a change here with 7:31 left in the second period. Massena 5-1. That goal by Justin Walsh, that's his 3rd of the year, coming at the 7:20 7-minute mark, and Timmy O'Shea picking up the assist.
I think we've got to change, and I know we've got to change a goal. I'm trying to see who that is. Is that DiLorenzo, Mike DiLorenzo? I couldn't tell who they put in. Let's see if they'll announce it. Oh, they're going to warm them up a little bit anyway. So we have a little bit of a break in the action. We'll tell you our broadcast on WMSA is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance at 229 East Orvis Street in Massena, North Country Savings Bank, 22 Phillips Street, Massena. The members of the CCOM Federal Credit Union, 30 Stern Street, Massena. Massena Optics, 55 Main Street, downtown Massena. Homestead Dairies, located on West Hatfield and at the corner of North Main and Maple Street in Massena. By Paris Excavating and Environmental Control Corporation on the Massena-Winthrop Road. Also by Coca-Cola, the makers of Powerade. Walsh Equipment on Bernie Avenue in Massena. Massena Savings and Loan at 121 Main Street, Massena. Reynolds Metals, St. Lawrence Reduction Plant, working together. The quality shines through. And Sullivan's Office Supply at 219 Center Street in Massena. It is DiLorenzo going in the nets for LaSalle as Matt Dixon. I can't really say you can blame him too much. Maybe on the Ward goal, he was kind of caught back in the net, but he hasn't had much support.
Well, I don't think. I think maybe the coach did it out of mercy, not out of that the youngster wasn't playing well. He just the Raiders just all over him, and the Cadets having trouble clearing the zone, not mustering any type of offense at all. They are on the board for one. Got that one late in that first period at the 14:59 mark when the Raiders turn it over in their own end, and number was that Samanoff, yeah, number 5 out there, Adam Samanoff popped it in. But since then and before then, it's been all Massena.
We've got Hazel's line out there now. Hazel with Kellogg this time and Cameron. Off the faceoff, here's Michael in behind the net. Cameron with a puck. Gets tied up. Hazel's there. Back to Cameron in the corner. Here's Cameron. Circles behind. He's got room. Wraps it in front. Shot, score! Mike Cameron with a beauty. He waited and waited until DiLorenzo went down and went up over his shoulder into the corner. And Cameron picks up Massena's 6th goal to make it 6-1.
Good job by Michael, but just a horrendous breakdown by the Cadets. They've got 5 skaters out there. The Raiders got 5 skaters. He picked the puck up in the left corner, went in behind the net, came out in front. He was looking to pass, and no one challenged him. The defenseman, 2 guys went for 1 player standing in front, and no one bothered him. He walked right out and couldn't believe his good fortune. He had plenty of time to look on both sides on DiLorenzo, and he fired a wrist shot up over the left shoulder.
Welcome to the game, Mr. DiLorenzo. Off the faceoff, back in the Massena zone. Benji Nightingale rips it around the boards, comes to the blue line. No, that's not Nightingale. Who is that? Is that Brownell out there?
Northrop, I think.
Oh, Northrop. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, here's Massena's. D'Agostino gets a weak shot off. Puck goes bouncing into the corner. To the blue line, kept in momentarily at the point. Now LaSalle will dump it into the Massena zone. Northrop will chase it down. In behind the net, trying to take a whack at it. Has it knocked away. Puck around the boards goes to D'Agostino. Trying to clear the zone. He gets a piece of it, knocked away. Comes in front. And Northrop flips it ahead. Nice headman pass. Meant for Farmer, but he couldn't quite catch up with it. Puck around the boards. Here's D'Agostino banging at it. Now Farmer's in there. Back to the blue line. Bubba Girard's shot on the side of the net. Really wasn't on the net. And it was gloved by goaltender DiLorenzo, and he'll hold on for the faceoff. Raiders in control, 6-1 here, with 6:20 left in period number 2 on the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard.
That 6th goal, the 4th of the period, 4 in a row. Mike Cameron, Mike's 3rd of the year, unassisted, picked it up, as we said, and wasn't challenged, walked out from behind the net and had all day, could have counted the house and put it home.
Walsh's shot right on. DiLorenzo makes a sprawling save. Walsh turns it around and fires it wide. And the puck trickles around the boards. LaSalle, they got a man breaking, almost got it to him, but icing will be the call. Pat Canoe trying to step behind the Massena defense, almost did, but passed a little bit too far.
Well, I'm sure after tonight's game, the Raiders will go home and sleep a little better and have a little better view on tomorrow's game. Much better. That trip from Canton had to be a long bus ride, probably 300 miles or so. At least it seemed that, I'm sure, the other night, and they've come out here flying tonight.
Here's Meacham kicking it in the corner. Bodies it by the defense. Here's Walsh from the slot. His shot, from the circle, I should say. Shot and a save by DiLorenzo.
I'd like to put a stopwatch, but I don't think I could push my finger quick enough by the time when Justin Walsh finds himself in that slot area, when the puck on the stick on the net, it's by far quicker than anybody on the team and probably in the league. He really gets rid of it in a hurry.
Timmy O'Shea in the corner. Flips it around to Walsh, around the boards behind the net. Walsh out by the blue line now. Winds up, the shot blocked. It comes to O'Shea. O'Shea dipsy doodles by Canoe, trying to slide it in front. O'Shea dipsy doodles in front, gets a shot off, and somehow that stayed out of the net because Meacham was there digging for it too. And finally LaSalle moves it out. Here's Canoe. Poke checked away from him. And we got a man behind the play. There's going to be a penalty behind the play. Meacham will pick up the call for holding, I believe.
Yeah, out of frustration. Timmy O'Shea walked right in. He danced around two LaSalle players, and I think he was looking to pass. At the end, he tried to get it over to Justin Walsh, and it hit somebody, came right out, and Eric Meacham had the wide open net. I don't know how he missed it, but I think that had a little bit of frustration when it went the other way. He grabbed the LaSalle player, but...
Oh, we've got Day and Ward out there now on the penalty killing situation. Bubba Gerard and Drew Wonke. And here comes LaSalle across the blue line. They dump it in the corner. Gerard flips it around the boards. Here's Drew Wonke trying to clear the zone. It comes in behind a Canoe. Oh, makes a nice move. Gets it in front. The shot. Save made. Zach, the save, and it's still free. And finally, it's banged out by Wonke. Couple of good chances. That Canoe is a good little hockey player.
He turned the Raider defenseman inside out. Here, you want this? And the Raider defenseman went for it.
And paid the price.
Paid the price. Went fishing and came home with no fish.
Got the tire.
He got the tire, is right.
Okay, here comes LaSalle again. It's Billy Dallas across the blue line. Centers to Canoe in front. This time he can't get the shot off. It sits in the slot. The shot is blocked on the trailer coming in, and Day comes up with it. He got hit, and there's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a slash. There's no doubt about that one. Day took the shot right across the ankles.
I could see it from here and hear it from here.
Yeah.
It was that was a major league chop by the LaSalle player. We'll pick up the number.
Was that Canoe?
Is that Canoe? Well, he's probably a little upset. He had a couple of good opportunities. And when he steps across that blue line with the Raider defenseman or Raider forward, they should just put him on his backside.
Because he's not very big.
No, he isn't big. And
he's not an exceptionally good skater either, but he's shifty.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Puck back in the zone. Now we're 4-on-4 plus the goalies for a little while. And out to center ice it comes. Rochford gets a piece of it. Back comes Kerwin. Drop pass, a nice one. The post is shot. Oh, good save made by DiLorenzo. I think Andy was so surprised to have the puck all by himself in front of the net. He didn't get much wood on it. And back comes the other way. It's LaSalle. They're going to flip it to the Massena line. Back out, post, back in the zone. Rochford with it. Rochford over to DeRosie. DeRosie bank pass. It comes ahead to Meacham. Here comes Meacham. Massena on the power play. Meacham takes it in the corner, looks to set it up. Now takes it behind centering pass. Goalie got a stick on it, flips in the corner. Kerwin after it, back to the blue line. Here's DeRosie at the blue line. Steps by the check. Takes it in the corner. DeRosie steps in front. Score! Eric DeRosie gets the power play goal, and the Raiders go up 7-1 as Eric DeRosie, pretty much unimpeded, came in from the blue line into the corner right out in front of the net. And as a result, Massena scores a power play goal, and we have to pick a Powerade power play winner. And let's see here. Let's go through, stick your hand in the... okay, and the winner is Andrew Lawrence of the Small Road in Massena. Andrew Lawrence wins a delicious case of Coca-Cola Powerade on the Powerade Power Play. Andrew, congratulations. Stop out at the station anytime during business hours and pick up your case of Powerade. Again, Andrew Lawrence of the Small Road in Massena is our winner. Puck in the zone again, LaSalle territory. In the corner, Massena setting it up in behind the net. Trying to do something with it in the corner. It's Day, or Cameron rather, excuse me. Cameron tries to center it, has to go after it himself. Circles in the corner. Here's Cameron centering, oh, right across the goal mouth. Unfortunately, no stick on the ice. And good opportunity there for Massena. Who was that? That was Sean Kellogg, but his stick was about 3 feet off the ice. Otherwise, he would have had a goal. Puck goes deep in the Massena zone. Picked up by DeRosie and around the boards. Raiders lead it 7-1. On the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard. Here come the Raiders breaking out again. Hazel takes it down the left wing side. Nice feed to Cameron. A little bit behind him, though. Puck around the boards. Cameron digging for it. Michael with the puck now. Looks to go back to Rochford. He steps to an open area. Rochford, shoot, score! And Mike DiLorenzo threw his hands up and said, this is ridiculous. It's 8-1 now, Massena. And maybe it's a little time to pull back the horses a little bit.
Well, I don't know. They've when you're 2-3, and I don't think he's going to pull them back right now. You want to get. They've been tasting the lemon. They want to taste some of that sugar, and they're on a roll right now. And it's not pointed on. It's just letting his charges go. And that time, John Rochefort got in the act, stepped down from the left point, and waltzed right into the front unimpeded. And he ripped a shot through traffic, and DiLorenzo had no chance at all.
Benji Nightingale flips it ahead, trying to go to Anthony DiAgostino. Here comes Anthony across the blue line, knocked away. Back out, back in the zone, but offsides will be the call on Massena. 2:22, time is running. I'm sure that probably nobody cares.
Was there any assist on that one? We haven't heard an assist. If that's the case, that's 3 unassisted goals in a row for the Raiders. Mike Cameron's, Eric DeRosie's, and now John Rochefort's.
Who is that keeping the clock down there? Is that Tom Hardy? Who is it?
He's got a slow trigger finger, whoever it is. I don't know.
Tom Hardy's evil twin, we understand.
Oh, his evil twin. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe he's giving the Cadets an early. There was an assist on that, I guess.
Off the face-off, the puck dumped in the zone, around the boards. Side of the net, Anthony DiAgostino has it roll off his stick, and around the boards it comes to the blue line out to center ice. Adam Barkley shovels it ahead, has it bounce off a body, gets it back again. Here's Barkley. He wants it now, takes it across. Finally, it's knocked away, following up. Farmer in the corner, trying to drop it behind the net in front. Seacott shot, save, rebound, they bang at it. Spanky with a good opportunity there. Comes to DiAgostino, back to Benji Nightingale, shot, fired it wide. Puck around on the other side, Barkley. Barkley moves by one, his shot over the net. Bounces around the boards, comes to Nightingale, flips it in the corner. DiAgostino gets tied up by the defense, that's Spiak. It's kicked back to the blue line. Benji Nightingale goes to Barkley, shovels it just wide, and the puck bounces free. Got to keep your stick on the ice in front. Now Barkley launches a rocket field goal attempt.
That was a rocket by Adam, but it was probably 18 feet above the ice surface. I think he got it up on end, and when he golfed it. But I tell you, 1:15 left, and Coach Tim Flanagan can't wait for this period. He can't wait for this game to be over. This club is just overmatched.
Yes, they are.
Yes,
they are.
2-4, as you mentioned, starting, and young club, but they just can't.
They're not a physical match for Massena. They're not a skating match for Massena, and it's showing here in the second period. Going to have a hooking call on Massena that time as Canoe tried to come across the blue line, and Eric Meacham is going to get the gate for hooking, and he just turned the stick over.
Yeah, and Canoe met the Raider defenseman on that side. I think that was Paul Brownell gave him a shot first, good check, and then Meacham back checking, as you mentioned, checked with the stick instead of the legs, turned it over, and those types of penalties, the coaching staff get a little upset on that. You're up 8-1, and you want to, it's not so much the penalty, it's in the way that it came about. Check with your legs, not your stick.
That was Mike Northrup on that side.
Mike Northrup,
yeah, he's wearing Brownell's number. Now Massena trying to kill a penalty here. Walsh is out there, and he's going to race for it. Here's Walsh. Oh, he couldn't get it out of the zone. Massena looked to break. Here's a pass right across the goal mouth. Nobody there. Walsh again, but Canoe steps by him. Here's Canoe. Winds up the shot. Zach makes the save and falls on top of it. And ending up on top of him was one of the Massena forwards bouncing in there. And no, that was the defenseman, Chaz Hearn. And he just wanted to cover up to make sure.
Toughest, hardest shot of the night for Zach anyway. Maybe not the toughest save from a fairly tough angle about the dot to the right of Zach Long, but Pat Canoe had plenty of time. He wound up, and I'll tell you, he teed it up, and it was a rocket. Zach held his ground, hit him in the chest, and dropped down. He held on for the faceoff.
Off the faceoff, here's a chance in front, and a weak shot. The save made by Zach again. As Raiders had a chance to clear the puck out of there, and it got away from the defenseman. And that gave LaSalle a bit of a chance there. I think that was Steve Nichols that had the opportunity.
Yes, and Mike Northrup was a defenseman, only a sophomore. He's going to learn. He had Nichols tied up and let him go. Nichols shook him off and had a good scoring opportunity.
Off the faceoff, here's a shot, goes off a body, and it'll be Slack cranking it down the ice. 59 seconds left in the power play. Under a minute left in the period. Raiders lead 8-1. It was 2-1, and then 6 goals in this period made it 8-1 on the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard. Here comes LaSalle. Back the other way. Into the zone is Luther, and he's offside. Actually, he's not offsides. It's Kuziara offsides on the right side, and they'll move it back out again.
An understatement when you say the wheels came off for the Cadets this period. I don't know what the shots or the attempts are, but the whole period has been played down in the east end to our left, and they drove Dixon out of there. Now DiLorenzo's under siege.
Here's a chance in front. They got a man breaking. Big save by Zach as he kicked it out on Brendan Fleming. And I'll tell you, when things go bad, they go real bad, don't they?
That was a super save.
Yes, it was. And I mean, here you are in an 8-1 game, and Zach comes up with a big save, kicks it out as the buzzer sounds. And the period, mercifully for LaSalle, ends. Raiders, I'm sure, would like this period to continue, but the Raiders score 6 in the second and lead it 8-1. In the first period, we're 24-1 favoring Potsdam.
Oh.
The score, 2-1 Potsdam.
Oh,
Plattsburgh scored on their only shot on goal in the first period in that game. And over at Salmon River Arena, it's St. Lawrence Central leading Lennoxville after period, 2-1 the score there. So, of course, Salmon River lost in the first game 2-1 to New Hartford. And in the first game over in Canton, it was Canton edging Ogdensburg in overtime 3-2.
You know, we mentioned about the Berg learning how to win, but it also, on the other side of the coin, it's a good club that can be down 2-0 going into the third period and down 2-1 with only less than 5 minutes to go and come back and win. And so full marks to the Canton Golden Bears. I'm sure they were. I don't think they took Ogdensburg lightly, but coming off the big convincing win against the Raiders the other night, maybe Coach Randy Brown just couldn't impress upon them that the Ogdensburg club is tougher than what you think they are.
Yeah, that's right, and they are. They're not a bad club at all, and they're gonna beat some people before the year is out. Okay, so it's 8-1 here. Massena leads as we move into the third period on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Raiders having their way pretty much, even though it was only 2-1 in the first period, Massena pretty much dominated after about the 4-minute mark. They gave up a late goal with 1 second left on kind of a bad bounce. And then since then, it's been all Massena. They've dominated, although Zach did have to make a couple of saves. What happens, you get a big lead like this, you get a little sloppy at times, and you do tend to give up odd man rushes once in a while.
That's right, and there haven't, it's 8-1. We talked about LaSalle not being a physical club. There's only been 4 penalties, 2 to each club in this game through 2 periods, so that's very unusual in high school hockey.
Off the face. Puck trickles into the Massena zone. Timmy O'Shea digging in after it. Here's O'Shea ripping it around the boards. Doesn't clear the zone. Comes in behind DeRosie. Back to O'Shea. O'Shea steps by 1. Steps by 2. Flips it ahead. Doesn't clear the zone again. Here's a drive from the point. That goes in behind the net and up into the wall. And we'll have a face-off with 7 seconds gone in the period. 7 seconds left in the penalty to Meacham that he took near the end of the period. Actually, Massena's had 3 penalties, as Meacham picked up 2 in that second period.
Timmy O'Shea, mistake that the coaching staff don't want to see him make in a big game, a tight game. Now deep in his own end, he beat one man, then he was under duress, and he dumped it out, but he just feathered it back there. You got to just fire it off that board. He put it right back to the LaSalle defenseman who rammed it down the Raiders' throat. Don't want to do that in a tight game.
Actually, you really don't want to do it in any game, if you can help it. Penalty is elapsed, and the Raiders are back to full strength. Here comes Meacham. Meacham's got O'Shea with him. He's got Walsh, too. O'Shea in front, shot. Nice save. Good save by DiLorenzo, and a nice feed by Meacham. Excellent save. Nice two-way passing play. Here comes LaSalle out to center ice. Rochford is there, and we're going to have a penalty, an elbow call on Massena. That happened behind the play. And Meacham will go back to the box for his third sit in the sin bin.
We'll add one more pass on that you mentioned, a two-way. It was a great three-way passing play, Jerry.
Justin started
Walsh
down here,
made a great touch pass to Meacham right at the red line. It was on just a bingo, and Meacham and O'Shea broke away 2-on-1. Great three-way passing play, but O'Shea couldn't convert it. DiLorenzo with a big save.
So the penalty on Meacham. Raiders down a man again. We'll try to kill this one off. And here's Day flipping it in the zone of LaSalle. In behind the net, Ken Evans with it. Evans leaves it in behind for Pat Canoe. Canoe moving it ahead out to center ice. Knocked away. Day again flips it back inside LaSalle territory. Day and Kerwin out there looking to kill this penalty off. And we've got Northrop playing 1 point along with Chaz Hearn. So a couple of the youngsters get a chance here in a man-down situation. And a good opportunity to get these guys out there under a game situation. Around the boards, it comes to Kerwin, and down the ice it goes with 50 seconds left in the man advantage. It's 8-1 Massena on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Here's Day with it in the corner. He's ridden off the puck, gets it back again. Day got a couple of guys on him. Finally, Canoe takes him into the boards. Puck slides right in front of the net, but LaSalle will move it ahead. Massena controls. Chaz Hearn with it over to Northrop. Northrop will start out right side, flips it back down in LaSalle territory, and Canoe upended him. Canoe not very big, but he likes to hit. And LaSalle starts to move it out again. And they trickle it out to center ice. Into the Massena zone. Benji Nightingale with it. Off the glass. Ahead to center ice. Day. Here comes Day 1-on-2. Jeff Day with it. Trying to do the shift. Lost it. Puck comes bouncing back to the blue line, and Nightingale is there to flip it in. Penalties elapsed, by the way. Raiders they hardly allowed LaSalle to even come out of their own end. Now the puck in the LaSalle end. Hazel out there chasing it down in the corner for Massena. Hazel has it knocked away. LaSalle's going to break out of the zone. Swept away by Barkley. Following up on the play, here's a chance for LaSalle. The shot, the save made by Zach, and he holds on. Ted Kuziara coming in on the right side. Barkley did a good job, took his man out of the play, but Kuziara following on the play came in and got a good shot off, but Zach Long made the save.
And whoever Adam took, when he took his man out of the play, I didn't get the number, but after he turned and back up the ice, the Troy player raked him right across the head.
Barkley with the puck in the corner. Little help there along the boards to Cameron. Nice little bounce pass out to center ice. Back in the zone, delay offsides, but Barkley clears it. Here comes Adam Barkley with it across the blue line, slides it right on. Save made by DiLorenzo. Puck in the corner, back to Barkley. He's going to wind it up, cranks it. The shot deflected in front, and DiLorenzo got over with a pad, did the split, made the save, and holds on for the faceoff. And he looks a little more at home in the net this time. He didn't get put in the middle of the period.
Puck just laying down there, and Sean Kellogg, number 12, had it right at his feet. He just couldn't get the stick down, and he not only didn't get the goal, but he took a couple of shots in the back of the head by the LaSalle defenseman. And after the second one, he turned around and said, don't do that. he gave him a little return kiss, and I think the LaSalle defenseman got the message.
Yeah, face off inside LaSalle territory. Off the draw, Cameron with it. Flips it in behind. Picked up on the defense by Jeff Moore. Around on the other side to Barbara. Puck still in the zone. Cameron in the corner. Oh, a little pushing and shoving there. Comes back to the blue line. Bubba tees it up. His shot through traffic. Nice save again by Dixon. And LaSalle is going to move it out to center ice. Headman pass intercepted. Bubba Gerard. Here's Gerard looking to headman. Across to Kellogg. In on the off wing. Nice drop pass. Cameron shot. Oh, big glove save by goaltender DiLorenzo. And he holds on for the faceoff.
Nice three-way passing play. Bubba Gerard sending Sean Kellogg in on that left side. Drew the defenseman and Michael Cameron in that slot area. Nice little drop pass, and Cameron picked it up and just about at the top of the circle took one stride and ripped a good hard shot, but DiLorenzo with a quick left hand picked it out of the air.
If you're just joining us, it was 2-1 Massena after the first period, but 6 unanswered goals in the second period made it 8-1, and that's where we are right now. Raiders in behind the net, looking to center. Seacott trying to get it to DiAgostino out in front, couldn't quite get it there. And we got some pushing and shoving in the corner. We're going to have penalties.
Yeah,
It'll be a high stick.
Right, Anthony D'Agostino in number 11. I think that's Ken Evans. I think it's...
It might just be Evans.
Anthony took him into the corner, and Evans retaliated, got the stick up. I think that's Evans. We'll wait to... no, it's going to run both of them. No, Anthony's over here.
Well, yeah, he's going to get in there, too. He kind of came over nice and slowly saying, well, I hope it's not me, but...
all I want for Christmas is not to get a penalty.
Well, of course, in a game like this, they all want to be out there all the time. You want that ice time, and off the face-off, puck sits in the circle. 4-on-4, plus the goaltenders. Trying to clear back to the blue line. Drew Wonke keeps it in. Feeds it in behind the net for Seacott. Spanky wraps it around, steps in front, shot, score! Spanky Seacott, and the Raiders go up 9-1. Came from behind the net, and again, nobody picked him up. He had an hour and a half in front to pitch a tent, and he waited. He waited for the goaltender to make his move, put it up over his shoulder.
I think the Raiders caught a break on that one. I think Shane Farmer should have been called for a hand pass down there. After the face-off, he went down to his knees, and I'm sure he directed the pass back to his line mate with his hand, and it came back to the point. They kept it in, and well, you know the rest. Spanky Seacott finished it off, but I think the Raiders should have been called for a hand pass.
That's the first goal of the season for him, I believe.
That is Eric's first goal. He had 3 assists prior to that, but he's got his first goal.
Off the face-off, puck goes back in the Massena zone. Bubba Girard wraps it around the boards. Massena looks to move it ahead. Here's Slack, flipping it down the line. Andy Post out there. We have a whistle, though, on the play, and I think we got another penalty on LaSalle. I think that's Pat Canoe going back into the box. It sure is. He gets his second opportunity in the penalty box, and I did not see that one. I don't know what the call was.
The
boarding? Okay, boarding the call.
Only 1 assist on that goal by Eric Seacott. Eric's first of the year. Shane Farmer picking up the assist. And
what about Sean Kellogg's hand pass? Shouldn't that have been an assist?
It was Farmer's. Yeah, Farmer was the guy that had the hand pass, but that was
okay.
Maybe we're going to credit him with that. That's how he got the assist. It really was an assist. But it should have been blown dead.
Here's Slack with it. Slack busting down the left wing side. Takes it across and dumps it in the zone. Raiders with a power play now. A 4-on-3 power play. And DeRosie's got it. Flips it over on the other side. Here's a shot by Rochford, I should say. And save is made. Back to Rochford. He comes back out at the point. Goes to DeRosie. Eric winds up. His shot deflected into the glass. And it comes around the boards to Rochford. Rochford cranks it up. Knocked the guy's stick right out of his hands. But LaSalle clears it out to center ice. DeRosie to Rochford. Rochford with a puck. He hit Slack. Slack has got Post with him. Comes into the corner. Drops it for John Rochford. Rochford, circle, right side of the goalie. Skates it. In behind Slack. Steps in front. Goalie went down. Couldn't get the shot off. He did what he wanted him to, but he couldn't get the shot off. Here's Slack stepping into the circle again. Goes back to DeRosie. Winds up. Shot in behind. Penalty, the matching penalties are up. Massena still with a power play. Back to Rochford. In the corner, Slack. 13 seconds left on the power play. Here's O'Shea, who just stepped off the bench. Timmy O'Shea back to the blue line. Rochford trying to slide it in front. Goes off a leg, though. And they move it down the ice. Trickles into the Massena zone. After it is DeRosie. Penalties elapsed. All the penalties are up now, so we're back to 5-on-5, and Massena breaks it. Here comes Justin Walsh. Had it bounce off his stick. After it is Jeff Moore, the defenseman for the Cadets. Walsh takes him into the boards. O'Shea in there to help out. They bang at it. Whoa, somebody just gave O'Shea a wicked shot. And Timmy was looking for the number. I'm not sure if he saw who did it. I saw who did it, though. It was number 20.
You mentioned Jeffrey Slack was out there in that power play. Jeffrey was probably rested after that 6-minute shift in that previous period. He didn't get back out there, according to our sources.
Like Junior said, he used up all his second period time in that one shift.
And he's going to get him a stopwatch for Christmas, he mentioned. He needs it.
Off the face-off. LaSalle controls to the blue line, but not out. Benji Nightingale keeps it in over to Walsh. Walsh to Meacham. Meacham in the circle. Left side of the goalie. Takes it in behind. Steps around in front. Oh, right through the legs. Back to the blue line. Nightingale keeps it in. Gets it back again. Benji with it. Goes to Meacham in the corner. Massena just buzzing around. O'Shea in front. Lost it off the end of his stick. Comes back to Nightingale. Again in the corner. Goes to Walsh at the 45. Walsh slides it right through the middle. I think the save was made. Meacham with it in the corner. Big Meacham. Back to the blue line. Barkley cranks it up, deflected in front, save made, rebound, sits there, Walsh can't get a stick on it, O'Shea does, comes and, fired it wide. How did he miss that one? O'Shea in behind, and he just lost it. Comes back to the blue line. Nightingale sprawls, keeps it in, good play. Flips it in the corner to O'Shea. O'Shea in behind the net. Goes to Meacham. Meacham around the boards. Finally, LaSalle picks it up. Don't clear the zone. Nightingale, now it comes out to center ice. And it's underneath Nightingale, and we have a whistle. We're down to 7:59 left in the third period. Bob Post, State Farm Insurance scoreboard says 9-1. Timmy O'Shea's going to see that one in his sleep.
Oh boy, he had a wide open net. You know, the Troy club, they're not playing bad zone coverage in their own end. In fact, they're well schooled, but they just aren't physical enough to ward Massena off. They just, when they go in the corner, or even in front, a player tries to disrupt the flow in there, but they just can't physically move the Massena player out of there.
Massena's a little bit too strong for him. Back the other way comes Brendan Fleming. He's got some room, trying to slide it in front, but it's in the corner, a little bit too far. Puck bounces in behind. Day after it there. Day and Luther go into the corner. Puck squirts free to Ward, and he moves it out to center ice. Here's Ward. Has it knocked away. Gets back up again, goes to Day. Day along the sideboards, taken away from him. We got a delay penalty on Massena. I think Ward's going to get the call, and he's going to touch the puck. He's going to get a roughing call. As he, he gave him a good shot.
Yeah, that's, again, what you talked about before. You don't mind penalties, but not foolish penalties. An 8-9-1 and take a roughing, because it disrupts the flow for the other players on the bench who want to get some ice time out there, and that's what's the hard thing, that somebody is going to miss a shift because of that. And so I'm sure young Mr. Ward will be reminded of that when the period is over, or maybe before the period's over. But he's had a good solid game, that line of Ward, Day, and Clint Kerwood.
Massena, penalty killing situation. Hearn's in there going after it in the corner now. Hearn battles for it. And they move it around the horn. It comes into the slot, and it's dumped to the blue line out to center ice. Here comes Cameron with it. He's got Hazel. He's going to slide it deep in LaSalle territory. In behind the net is Ken Evans. Evans rips it around the boards. It comes to Northrup, who shovels it right back into the zone. Now they're going to change defensive pairings as Bubba, Gerard, and Drew Wonky come out on the ice. Massena with the forwards of Cameron and Hazel out there as they attempt to kill this one off out to center ice. Here's Canoe with it. Pat Canoe, probably their best player. He flips it ahead in on the right side to Bill Dallas. Dallas taken out of the play by Bubba Gerard, and he comes up with the puck again, trying to center it, but his heart wasn't in it that time. He slides it in front, and Canoe, he just got railed as he waved at the shot. Puck around the boards to the blue line. Stolen by Cameron, and he just flips it down the ice. Actually, it hit one of the players on the Massena bench, so they'll whistle it dead, and the faceoff will come just inside the Massena zone. 6:25 left in the hockey game. 9-1 Massena on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. 27 seconds left in the LaSalle power play. Just overmatched by the Red Raiders physically, skating ability, and pretty much every way.
The Raiders usually have 5 sets of defensemen, usually dress 4, and Paul Brownell and Jeremy Buffum, odd man out tonight.
I think Buffum's still sick. Here's a chance. That was Brendan Fleming, and he just was sandwiched. Puck comes free in the boards, in behind the net. They move it around the horn. Dallas after it. We have a whistle, though. And that time Fleming wanted to take off against Drew Wonky. They're both going to get penalties, but Mel Tomelty was over there in a hurry to get in between them. And Fleming is upset. So that'll make it a 5-on-4 or a 4-on-3 power play, excuse me. And 6:14 is what's left. And I think Mel's having a little chat. I guess they're going to just wipe these. So they'll still be a 5-on-4. No, it is going to be a 4-on-3. No, 5-4. Okay, they need another player out there. I guess if there's already a penalty being served, then they don't take 2 men on the matching minor. So it'll be a 5-on-4 power play. Now wait a minute. Yep, that's what it's going to be. They keep switching bodies out there.
LaSalle's number 6, Brendan Fleming. Massena's number 4, Drew Monkey. Each a minute and a half for roughing.
Roughing the call.
Time 8 minutes.
And the face-off. Canoe will face off against Anthony DiAgostino. Off the draw. Canoe wins it. He can't get the shot off, though. He's pretty well tied up in behind the net. Bouncing puck right in front, but it was too much bouncing, and DeRosie picks it up. 2-on-2 with DiAgostino. Here comes DeRosie, building up the head of steam, centers it right across the goal mouth, but DiAgostino had been taken out of the play. Puck comes bouncing back. Massena gets the man back, so we're even Steven. And Zach comes out of his net to clear it out to center ice. Now back to the blue line. Trickles into the Massena zone. Johnny Rochford there. Long headman pass right on the stick. Goes to DiAgostino in behind him. In the zone to lay offsides out to center ice. Rochford picks it up at his own blue line. 5:30 left in the third period. The bouncing puck between the red lines now. Here's DeRosie, just flips it in the zone. Moves it back out to center ice. Comes to John Rochford. Steps by a check. Now DeRosie with it. Flips it ahead. But LaSalle will come back the other way. And it bounces in the zone. And around the boards, kept in at the point. But now Massena controls it out to center ice by Farmer. Farmer gets railed by Canoe. Now there's pushing and shoving, and we're going to have more penalties, I believe. As Canoe took a run at Farmer, and of course Farmer gave it back to him. And then it's in later on the play was Steve Nichols. He'll get the gate. Who else will get penalty? Anthony DiAgostino. Nichols and DiAgostino will get the matching minors. And again, I don't think that they will take them off, take off extra players, because there's already 2 men in the box. And apparently DiAgostino is going to get a double minor.
3 minutes up on the board. Well, they're both getting
No, they're
minors.
both getting 3, okay. So they both get double minors for double roughings.
It's going to be a popular place down there. Only 5 penalties at the end of 2 periods, and we've got a rash here. Of course, I can see LaSalle being a little bit of frustration coming out. It's human nature.
Yep.
Getting shellacked pretty good, but they're hanging in there. They're not quitting. So again, a young club, not very big, and they're just overmatched here tonight.
Oh yeah, they're small. They're young, and Massena, coming off a loss, was hungry. So all those factors in combination make for a 9-1 game. And it ain't over yet. Here comes Walsh busting in on the right side. Winds up. The save made by DiLorenzo, and he says, where is it? And now Walsh ends up in the goalie.
He's probably going to pick up a penalty also. He just railed the, I think that's number 19, Jeff Moore, after he took the shot, and DiLorenzo made a great save on it. He held his ground, and then Walsh continued on and just drilled the Troy player, probably get him elbow or high sticking, and I think Massena's going to get another penalty.
I don't know what Timmy O'Shea's arguing about. Did he get hit on the way to it? It didn't look like it.
No, well, just doing what a captain does, trying to come to the defense of his teammate and fellow line mate. But
so that'll be a minor penalty against Justin Walsh, and that'll make it a 4-on-3 power play for LaSalle.
That one was so evident, you could argue that one before the Supreme Court. And,
roughing the goalie. Here's O'Shea now trying to come up with a puck. He can't, and LaSalle breaks down. They got a man breaking, but they can't get it to him. It's broken up by Barkley. He dumps it right back. Trying to spring Canoe. Puck out to center ice. Barkley shovels it right back on goal. And we're going to have an offsides as Timmy O'Shea was a little bit ahead of the play. Wonky gets out of the box. The matching minors between Wonky and Fleming have elapsed, so they get to go with the whistle. 4:29 left in the third period. Raiders lead at 9-1 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. And they are trying to kill off a 4-on-3 power play here for 1:09.
Matt DiLorenzo, who had 3 in that second period, got by him, and 1 here in the third. But he's played really well.
He has.
In the
He
third
has
period,
played
made
well.
some sparkling saves.
Pat Canoe still out there. He's been on the ice a long time. Most of the second and third period. He's about their best guy. Here's Meacham. Gets the backhander off. That goes wide. O'Shea in the corner. Trying to get by the check. Gets knocked down. And the puck is underneath him. We'll have a face-off inside LaSalle territory.
4:17 left in the third period. It's been a long period, a long game for the Cadets, but I'm sure they'll take something from this, even though you get trashed 9-1. It's you're learning.
Coach Tim Flanagan rubbing his head right now. Been a long night for the coaching staff. Puck in the circle. O'Shea takes it out by the blue line, then out to center ice, just ragging the puck, killing the penalty. Drops it over on the other side to Meacham. Meacham waits out by the red line, then shovels it in the zone. Around the horn, O'Shea. O'Shea trying to step by the check, but the puck comes free, and he's still digging for it. Out to center ice. Benji Nightingale steps in front of it, feeds to Meacham, a little bit too far. Back inside the zone of LaSalle. Meacham digging for it. He's got O'Shea. Here's O'Shea, steps by the check that time, takes it behind, turns it around, gets knocked down, and back comes LaSalle. Out to center ice. They got a man breaking and taking it in the zone. That's Jeff Moore. He almost got by Meacham, but Meacham got back and dumps it down the ice. 3 seconds left in the power play, and we'll be back to even Steven here as Justin Walsh comes back out on the net, down the ice, and we got a penalty. Uh-oh. I didn't see that one, but Coach did.
Yeah, you bet. That's going to be Jeff Moore, and he definitely deserved it. On the way to the bench, Timmy O'Shea gave Joe White a little shot with his stick, and evidently Moore took exception coming from the blind side, and he elbowed, high stick, cross-checked, whatever you want to call it, Timmy O'Shea right in the head, and referee Mel Tamalti right there on the spot. And the Cadets are going to pick up a penalty.
So now the Raiders go on the power play with 3:15. Raiders have scored 1 power play goal here this evening. We got 4-on-3 power play is what it is, which is a little bit different. Gives you a little more room to dangle.
Yeah, a lot of, in fact, when Meacham and O'Shea in that last out there, they liked that. They were down, Raiders down 2 men, but he likes that. Looks like there's going to be another. Well, we've got, okay, yep.
All right, off the face-off. Here comes Massena back the other way. Across is Kerwin. Shoots, save, big rebound. Bounces in front, but Canoe is there to golf it out to center ice. Wonky corrals it, dumps it right back in the zone. In behind the net, 9-1, Raiders lead. 6 goals, rather, in the second period. 2 in the first, 1 here in the third. Kerwin has it go by him. Canoe picks it up, shovels it down the ice. Bouncer goes to the side of the net, and it comes to Bubba Girard. Girard he's going to lug it out. Here's Girard building up the head of steam, takes it across. Girard in the corner, steps by the check. He's got Kerwin right in front. Circles around, goes back, and it was deflected on the way through. He had Jeff Day and saw him, but not enough mustard on the pass, and it was deflected. Here comes Day now, back across. Dipsy Doodles trying to feed it through. Comes to Girard. Girard steps by the check, centers it in front. Day takes it in front to Kerwin. He tried to go to the backhand. Here's a shot backhand across by Bubba Girard, and around the horn it goes. And back it comes to Girard again. Winds up, fakes the shot, goes to Kerwin, back to Girard. Can't get a stick on it. Now he does. Again, if Day had had a stick on the ice, he might have had a goal there. Here's Day with it, out by the blue line, goes to Drew Wonky. Wonky centers it in front, deflected right on. Save made, rebound, Ward, another save. And the puck in the corner. 2 seconds, 1 second. We're not going to give away a case of Powerade. And now, pushing and shoving going on. Clint Kerwin and Canoe. And Canoe's going to get the gate for 1. I think Kerwin will too.
Sid Kerwin saying, why me? I gave him a good solid check, and Canoe retaliated, gave him a shot. But again, the officials just maybe even it out here with just 1:43. They want to get this thing over with. They don't want any more power plays. Kerwin almost got himself a goal with a nice deflection shot from the point, and he came out of the corner, positioned himself correctly, angled the blade, and bingo, up into the chest. Just a nice save by DiLorenzo. It hit him more than the save, but he was in the right spot. But a nice deflection by Clint Kerwin.
Apparently they gave Canoe a double, because there's an extra 1.5 up there on the...
Well, I think he warranted a little more than Kerwin.
So that'll give Massena a power play here.
1:43, which seems like an eternity right now.
Yes, it does.
Especially
this game has slowed right down to a crawl here, which these type of games tend to do, unfortunately. Slack out there for Massena, taking the face-off. It goes to Hearn, who dumps it in the zone. And we'll try to give away a case of Powerade here. It is a power play for Massena. Around the horn, Northrup with it, pinches into the corner. Now posting. Oh, there's a big elbow. Wow. That was a brutal one. Jeff Moore, as he elbowed Northrup. That was a bad one, right in the head.
And young Mr. Northrup is still down on the ice. He hasn't gotten up. Here comes Coach Ed Latham out. He did. Moore just got out of the box. He's the guy that elbowed Timmy O'Shea just a while ago, and that time he just blindsided Mike Northrup, who dropped down from his point. And, I don't know if he saw him coming. He certainly didn't expect. I don't think he did, because Moore came from his blind side, and he just drilled him with an elbow right into the dasher. And he's still down.
Now that definitely qualifies as a cheap shot.
Oh, no question. He's been, and I think Coach Tim Flanagan's got his boys over there. He's just reminding, like, come on, let's cut out the cheap stuff. You can throw some solid checks out there, but where were they throwing them in the first two periods? But now
exactly.
They're down 9-1, and it's not the time, not the place.
Mike Northrup getting up slowly. Coach Eddie Latham out there helping him up. And boy, that was a wicked, wicked elbow to the head. And I'm sure he's seeing stars right now, and his ears are ringing.
And his legs are like rubber bands, I'm sure. Mike Northrup, only a sophomore. We mentioned he and Chaz Hearn. Mike is a 6-footer, 155. Only a sophomore. He's got a good future ahead of him here for the Raiders. Oh, we've got let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, and just in this period alone, I think there's been about 13 penalties.
Yeah. Poor JR's getting writer's cramp. Massena with a 2-man advantage now. In behind the net. See if we can give away a case of Powerade. It comes to Chaz Hearn out by the blue line. He'll cross it over to Drew Wonky. He cranks it. Fired it high and wide. Puck in behind the net. Bodies flying around behind the net. Oh, boy. As Andy Post just got cranked. Puck around the boards, and we're going to have another penalty on LaSalle. A cross-checking call. And this has gotten a little out of hand here.
The other young defenseman, we talked about Mike Northrup getting a start tonight. Chaz Hearn, he's also a sophomore. He's 5'10", about 185 pounds, solid youngster. And again, he also has looking at a bright future.
That's Spiak getting the cross-checking call. So Massena's going to be man advantage for the rest of the game, at least. 2-man advantage for the rest of the game. We're still trying to come up with a Powerade power play goal here, Coach, but I don't know if it's going to happen. 9-1, Raiders lead it as Hearn tries to dump it in the zone, but it's knocked away. Here comes Slack. Jeff Slack gets by one. He breaks in all by himself on the goalie shoot. Nice save by DiLorenzo. And DiLorenzo covers it up. He did what he wanted to do, went for the corner, but DiLorenzo got the glove out and knocked it away.
Raiders on a 5-3 2-man advantage. Jeffrey Slack picked it up in the neutral zone and waltzed right through two of those 3 blue shirts, right in on DiLorenzo. Went glove side up high, but a great save by DiLorenzo.
Off the faceoff, Raiders win it. Kellogg back to Wonky at the point. He shoots one right on. DiLorenzo makes the save up over the boards and into the wall with 44 seconds left.
We had a first period that just flew by, 3 goals. The second period was long. Raiders got 6. And boy, this third period, only 1 goal scored in the period, I do believe. But it seems like they've been out there for an eternity.
I imagine LaSalle would agree with you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Off the face-off. Controlled by LaSalle. They'll move it out to center ice. Billy Dallas with it. Into the Massena zone. He's taken out of the play. Uh-oh.
Skate.
Wonky. Now back the other way. It's right in front. Here's a chance. Massena, oh, big save on the backhander. Good opportunity. 23 seconds left. Goes in front of the net. Again, the shot. Another save made. Another shot. Another save on DiAgostino's backhander. And the whistle blows. And the goalie loses his stick. And he's getting a little sick of this too, I think, Coach.
And Mel Tamalti is too. In fact, the puck wasn't frozen. I think Mel saw it, but just sake of kindness around the Christmas season, he blew the whistle, and there were penalties
gonna
after.
Pick up a penalty.
Yeah, he's going to get a roughing call after the fact, but.
We are down to 16 seconds left. Let's drop the puck and get this thing over with. It'll move outside the zone, which is good.
Be merciful and not blow that whistle in these final 16 seconds, but the Raiders had several good opportunities there. Anthony DiAgostino, Shane Farmer had a chance to get one in, and somehow DiLorenzo was able to keep it out.
Actually, he's played pretty well.
Yes, he has
in this period. Yeah.
Massena penalty to number 20, Eric Seacock.
You're listening to Massena Red Raider Hockey on 1340 WMSA Massena. 9-1 the score for Massena. Raiders lead it on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. They'll play Saratoga tomorrow. Here's Slack with it. Into the corner, over skates it. 10 seconds left, kept in at the point. Here's the drive, and that was Northrup, and it's nice to see him back out there. He takes a shot, got it a little high, but the save made by DiLorenzo. Massena's going to end up with a lot of shots on net in this game.
Oh, boy, I guess so. The busiest guy in the rink has been our statistician here, JR. He's been, I don't think he's seen much of this third period. He's been writing the whole period. Mike Northrup, you mentioned back out there, he's still rubbing that neck a little bit. Probably a little sore. He'll be sore tomorrow, I'm sure.
Are you nervous tonight, JR?
Oh, I'm quite confident.
He's quite confident tonight.
7 seconds left.
9-1 lead.
Okay.
He got the calculator. Got to thank JR, Dick Johnson, and our other statistician, the quiet one, Al Nicola. Off the face-off, 5 seconds left. Down the ice it goes. And that'll take care of it. The Raiders with a big win, 9-1. Maybe we could say just what the doctor ordered, Coach.
Yeah, it certainly was a